Hi guys, it's Paula and I hope you are doing well. I am so excited for this video. I am doing another Shop My Stash. I am so excited. I did my first Shop My Stash 3 months ago, right at the start of spring. It was in collaboration with Tosh from Too Much Tosh, and all of the products focused around springtime makeup, the makeup I want to reach for when spring rolls around. I cannot tell you how much fun I had and how inspired I was after doing that Shop My Stash. And I am amazed at how many of those products were able to get some use out of them after that Shop My Stash video. I rolled them into Project 10 uses. I rolled them into my Dust Collectors Get Ready With Me. And I rolled them into projects over the last 3 months. I used almost every product that I talked about in that video one way or another over the next 3 months. So it was a very valuable experience. Not only was it so much fun and so inspiring to go through my items and shop my stash and remind myself of how many awesome products I have, but also I was able to get some use out of them over the coming 3 months throughout the season, which is very timely. So it was definitely a win for me, and I was toying with the idea of doing this again for the summer. I wasn't fully committed to it, but it's here. I am shopping my stash for the season of summer, and I've pulled some products that inspire me for this time of year. I am doing this in collaboration with Samantha. She is Samantha Pans. I will have her channel and her Instagram account linked down below. If you are part of the panning community, you probably already know her. She's very supportive of Project Panning and other project panners. She's really become a good friend of mine over the last couple years through Instagram, and of course now she has her own channel. So definitely go support her, check out her channel, see if you like her as much as I do, and tell her I sent you if you decide to subscribe to her channel. So I will have her video linked down below because I am doing this in collaboration with her. Not only is this a Shop My Stash, but like Tasha and I did in the spring, Samantha and I are doing a top 5 palettes for summer. So I also have 5 palettes that have serious summer inspo that I'm excited to use for inspiration in the next few months. I don't know if you know this about me, but summer is my absolute favorite time of the year. Yes, it gets very hot in the Chicagoland area. It's very muggy all the time. And the older I get, the harder it is for my body to tolerate it. But I still love summer. As a kid, I was not a big fan of school. I did it because I had to do it, but I lived for summer and summer vacation. And now as an adult, I work at a school. So I still live for summers and summer vacation, and I'm especially looking forward to it this year. Mama needs to heal herself inside and out from the year that we have had, and I am really looking forward to a summer of no work, more than possibly ever before in my life. I have 2 more days of going to a school building and then 2 more days of working from home, and then I'm done. So June 24th, baby, I am almost there. I could almost taste it. Oh my gosh, I hope I make it. It's been a year. Let's get into the Shop My Stash. I might have talked about this first product in my spring Shop My Stash. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But let's start with foundation products. First of all, the product that I might have talked about in my spring Shop My Stash are these 2 right here. These are my Peach Perfect Comfort Matte Foundation, the Primed and Peachy. You guys know this, you've seen it. I love this, and this is a good summer shade for me. This is the shade Natural Beige. It's actually like I need to have a solid tan to pull this off. I need to go to the pool a few times before I can even pull this out. But every time summer rolls around, I start thinking about this combination, and I have since purchased a lighter shade of this foundation that I could wear year-round. But not only do I feel like this is an amazing foundation, but I feel like it is a well-suited formula for the summertime when it's humid and muggy and makeup wants to break down on my skin. This really lasts. So I love this foundation, and I love the primer too. I love both of them. So if I already talked about this in the spring, I'm sorry, but I just love this. By the time fall rolls around, I'm ready to put it away, and it is way too dark for me at that time. But when summer comes, it's what I want to wear. Unfortunately, I don't think I'll be wearing it this year. I am really focused on getting some other foundations out of my stash, so I don't think it's going to happen this year, but I always think of those two when I think of summer. The other foundation that I always think of when I think of summer is my Hourglass Vanishing Stick. I don't actually think this is a good product for the summer. I think this is a much better product for the winter. And I would like to buy this in my winter shade. I have not done that yet because this is a pretty expensive foundation and I have way too many. But this shade is really dark and I cannot wear it any other time of year other than summer. And since it is, I didn't pay for this. This was gifted to me by a family member. But since I did pay so much for this product, I try to use it at least a few times every summer before, you know, hopefully it doesn't go bad, but I think next summer I'm going to focus on finishing this one completely. I have one all over face palette that reminds me of summer so much, and it is this right here. This is my Becca and Jaclyn Hill collaboration palette. I'm holding it upside down, but this palette is summer to me. Not only are Champagne Pop and Prosecco Pop very good highlighting shades on me when I have a bit of a tan going on, but this shade right here, did I finally toss that slip in the middle? No, it's somewhere. I don't remember the name of it. I don't have that slippy thing. Where'd it go? Whatever this shade is right here, I mean, I think it's technically a blush, but it's that reddy blush, that reddy brown blush that I love as a bronzer. This is like my perfect summer bronzer. I did a whole video shopping my stash for bronzers in this shade, and it turns out I have several blushes that are this shade. So this is definitely my ideal bronzer. And of course, these two blushes right here are great for summer as well. But really, the reason I pulled this palette is for this blush slash bronzer and these two highlighters. By the way, Elizabeth Cookie Pans told me about a thing called bronzer, and I am all about bronzer. When I think of the word bronzer, this is exactly what I think of, a ready toned bronzer that could be a blush, could be a bronzer, kind of like a one and done, and I am here for it. I love the idea and I support it fully. I was not on the bronzer train. I don't like bronzer, but bronzer, yes, I am here for it. So that's a good bronzer right there. There is the bronzer blush from the Jaclyn Hill palette. There is Champagne Pop and there is Prosecco Pop. I think you can see that Prosecco is a little bit more gold than Champagne. As if that wasn't enough, I pulled two other highlighters that I think would be amazing for the summer. The first one is one that I heard about through Kathleen Light. She recommended this, and when I bought it, I knew it was my perfect highlighter. This is Hot Sand from NARS. Am I holding it upside down again? No, I'm not. This is Hot Sand from NARS, and this is a highlighter that made me realize that a peachy highlighter is perfect for me. I really can handle a peachy toned highlighter very well for my skin. It really works for me. Not too pink, not too gold. Peach. Peach is the most perfect shade for a natural looking highlight on me, and this is just an amazing formula. It is so gorgeous. It's definitely a product that I tend to not want to use because I want to use up all the other highlighters and only be left with this, which is crazy because that will take the rest of my life and I should just enjoy this. But I have been thinking about this a lot lately and I would love to roll it into Project 10 uses this summer or something else. I don't know. I definitely need to use this at least one time this summer. There is Hot Sand from NARS. And the other highlighter I pulled is probably not the perfect highlighter for my skin tone, but if there is a time when I could pull it off, it would be in the summer. So that is this Becca highlighter in Own Your Light. Do you guys remember this one? This is one of my newest highlighters. I think I bought it last year. And this is it right here. It's peachy, pinky, but it's much deeper than Hot Sands from NARS. I hope I could pull it off. I don't know if I've used it at all yet. I'm honestly not too sure if I've even used this yet. Maybe once. I don't remember. but this is beautiful. And if there was a time I could wear this, it would be summer. There is Own Your Light from Becca. It kind of reminds me of that Smashbox and Vlada highlight collaboration. All right, I have blushes. I definitely have too many blushes here, but I get a little carried away when summer rolls around because I love a good blush. The first blush that I pulled is an oldie that has seriously been underutilized within my stash, and it is this. This is the NYX HD Studio Photogenic Grinding Blush in the shade Sangria in Madrid. Does anybody remember when NYX, and I think Smashbox did it first, came out with these grinding blushes? Yeah, I think Smashbox did this first and then NYX kind of copied it. But basically, isn't that cool? It's like a cheese grater, and underneath is like a semi-pressed loose powder. And what you do is you push, I think what you do, I can't remember. Yeah, you just kind of push and twist. Oh, see how it's coming off? Look at that. And then you could dip your brush in there and powder away. But I was kind of obsessed with this formula. As you can tell, this is a pretty deep red shade. So again, it's one of those that I probably can't get away with most of the year, but in the summer, I kind of feel like I might be able to pull it off. But yes, this is an oldie but a goodie. There is the NYX Sangria in Madrid blush. Another blush, I cannot talk. Another blush that reminds me so much of summer is this Milani Baked Blush in Rose d'Oro. It's kind of like a bronzer. Look at that, but it's shimmery. And yeah, these are the kind of things I love. These are the kind of shades I love for summer. There is the Milani Rose d'Oro blush. The next blush I chose not only gets me for the shade of blush, but for the marketing and the packaging. It literally says beach in it. This is the Balm Beach blush from the Balm. There is a little lady wearing a yellow swimsuit on a beach, and I would like to be her. And this is the shade right here. It's a very neutral blush that not only could be used as a bronzer, but I feel could be used year-round. This is a very good year-round blush. There it is right there. I know it's hard to see, but I could either see it being a very pinky bronzer or a very neutral blush. Either way, it has the word beach in it. What could I do? I had no choice. The final two blushes come from the same line, and that is the Too Faced, what were these called? Sweetheart's Perfect Flush Blush. I have Peach Beach here, again, beach, and I have Sparkling Bellini. They're both good. Bellini's a little bit deeper than Peach Beach. There is Bellini, and here is Peach Beach. They do kind of have three different shades, but I don't really try to get one shade over the other. I just swirl my brush around and I don't worry about the different shades. They both have a little bit of a sheen to them, which I am perfectly fine with in the summer. Okay, there is Peach Beach and there is Peach Bellini. And that's the Balm one. Peach Beach and the Balm one are very similar, but the Peach Beach has a bit of a shimmer to it, whereas the Balm one is pretty much matte. To be honest, with these shades right here, I really wouldn't even need any eyeshadows. I could just use these on my eyes and I would be perfectly happy all summer long with just this palette right here. But let's keep going. Before we get to the top 5 eyeshadow palettes, I do have a couple of honorable mentions when it comes to eyeshadow. The first is a MAC pigment in the shade Melon. This was a sample that I was given from the MAC counter. Obviously, if you purchase a MAC Melon, it doesn't look like this. But MAC Melon is, oh boy, it is summer. That's summer right there. If you were wondering what summer was, that's it. There is Max Melon. Isn't that gorgeous? If you have blue eyes, I am very jealous of you because these colors will look amazing on you. The other honorable mention is my quad from Lime Crime. This is the Plushies quad in Fresh Squeezed. OMG. Is there any other season you could think of when you look at this other than summer? I don't think so. I bought this because these three bold colors were calling my name, but my favorite shade in this palette is without a doubt this brownie shade called Mango. It is amazing. It is the most amazing eyeshadow ever. I love this shade. I love all the shades, but Mango is my favorite of the bunch, which is crazy because I didn't even notice Mango was in there when I bought this quad. I saw the yellow and this purpley pink, and that's all I could see. But nope, Mango is the bomb. These are pressed pigments. They are highly pigmented. And getting a little, maybe being a little too rough. Getting crazy. There is a swatch of the 4 eyeshadows from this Lime Crime quad. That Mango is so good. Okay, let's talk about my top 5 eyeshadow palette picks for summer. Obviously, I have more eyeshadow palettes for summer than this, but these are the 5 that, as I was looking over my stash, inspired me the most when I thought about what I would like to wear all summer. I would argue that for at least 4 out of 5, there is a common theme of a palette that has both some very bold pops of color along with neutrals, which is really what I go for every day. I like to alternate between neutrals and pops of color. I do neutrals for a few days and then I get sick of it, and then I go to pops of color, bright bold eye looks, and then after a few days of that I want to go back to neutrals. So a palette that has both neutrals and bold bright colors is definitely appealing to me, but I would say even more so in the summer than any other time of year. So these 5 are in no particular order. I could no sooner rank them than I could rank my own children, but I have them right here. The first 2 are both from Juvia's Place. I have the Masquerade Mini. There it is right there, and OMG. I think this is a summer palette, clearly. What other season could this be? I don't know. Maybe I'm biased, but I just can't imagine this being another season than summer. These bold blues and pinks and plums, and then the 2 rows of warm neutrals, that's all I would need, really, for the entire summer is this palette right here. Sadly, I've only seen other people use this palette. I have never used this palette even once. So I definitely need to use this palette at least once over the next 3 months and try it out, because I think that's a crime. And actually, 4 out of these 5 palettes are palettes that I've never used even once. And the 5th one, I've only used 1 time. So we got a problem here. So needless to say, I'm not commenting on the quality of the shadows, but the color story of the palettes are really what remind me of summer, and I would like to use them this summer, hopefully. The next Juvia's Place palette is the Saharan 2. Oh my gosh, I love the look of this palette. This is another one I've never used even once, but I just think this is so summer. That's a lot like Melon from MAC right there. I think they might be dupes for each other. Let me swatch them. Let's do a little side by side and see. It's a little bit deeper, slightly deeper, and more like a yellowy, orangey, golden shade. Melon is a little bit more pinky and light gold. They're similar. My lights are not doing us justice here. But yeah, this shade right here, summer. This shade, summer and fall. I don't know. These shadows just inspire me so much, and I have got to use this palette sometime this year. This next palette is so inspiring and I've heard nothing but good things about the formula. But again, I don't feel like I've actually used this palette. That is my Urban Decay and Kristen Leanne collaboration palette. What was this called? Kaleidoscope Dream. This is the one with the crazy pan layout that drove everybody crazy. I bought it when it went on sale at Sephora. I was not too interested in this palette. I tend to pass on rainbow palettes just because I'm looking for practicality, and for day-to-day I'm not wearing a ton of rainbow eye looks. But right at the time that this was going on sale and being clearanced out, reviews were pouring in and everybody said the quality of these shadows is amazing. And so I bought it, and yeah, it's summer. This is a summer palette, no doubt. The next palette I have used one time and I loved it, and it is so summer. This is the BH Cosmetics Desert Oasis palette. I love this palette. I love the eye look that I did with this palette. I did it in a Dust Collectors Get Ready With Me. But yeah, that's summer right there. If you were wondering what summer looks like, that's it. Right there. My only complaint about this palette was that these highlighters over here were a little bit too much for me. I have gotten used to a bit more of a subtle highlight, and these really picked up a lot of texture on my skin, and I don't even have that much texture on my skin, but they really didn't look flattering. But as eyeshadows, these performed amazing. Amazing. And the last palette was one that almost made the cut for my spring top 5 eyeshadow palettes, and it didn't make the cut, but I've been kind of kicking myself ever since and looking for a reason to use it. So I knew it had to go in my summer top 5. Technically, I think this palette could carry me throughout all 4 seasons of the year, but I think it really is a good fit for the summer months. That is my Sephora Pro palette in New Nudes. I love every new nude palette out there. I love the nudes that have this pink mauve. I love it. Yeah, this is it right here. I've swatched this palette, but I've never worn it even once. I have heard so many amazing things about these Sephora Pro palettes, and there was a time when I wanted all of them, but this is the only one I actually have, and oh my gosh. I want to use this. This might be, I don't know what I'm going to pull for my next Dust Collectors Get Ready With Me. It's coming up in just a couple days, but something from this makeup that I'm talking about here is going to be in that video because I am just so inspired by all of this. Okay, before we get on to the lip products that I pulled, and I do have an obscene amount of lip products over here. I should really narrow it down a little before I show you guys. Let's talk about some nail polish. I don't think I pulled any nail polish for spring, and I love spring nail polish, but I don't think I pulled any. Maybe I did, I don't remember. But I was definitely inspired to pull some nail polish for my summer shop my stash. And I think you will see a theme emerging pretty quickly with what shade I'm drawn to for summertime. Here they are right here. Look at that one's hiding. So these would be my picks for summer nail polish. They are all very warm aqua. I did have a bold greeny yellow in the mix, but the rest are kind of tealy ocean blues, and that's really what I want to wear when summer rolls around. For as much as I dislike blue eyeshadow, I love blue nail polish. I think blue nail polish is like my favorite color nail polish of all, and I do have quite a few, but when it comes to summer, I'm definitely going for more of these greeny blues, these ocean blues. So I have 305, is that 305? So I have 305 from Kale Polish, Summer. I have the shade Love Nails from Sinful Colors. This is Sora from Julep. This is a very old Milani polish called Pool Party. I feel like I'm saying polish instead of polish. I don't know why I'm doing that. Polish. This is a very old Milani polish called Pool Party. And then this is from Bliss. I think I picked this up at Kohl's, and it's called Wheel and Teal, and it's just a matte aqua teal shade. I need to shake it up really good. There's some pigment separated, but this is a beautiful shade that I would love to wear in the summer. In the spring, it's all about lavenders and pinks, but in the summer, it's all about teals and aquas and greens. That's where I go. Okay, finally, lip products. OMG, let me gather them. I have gone completely overboard, so I am not gonna do swatches for all of these, or maybe I'll just do a swatch of all of them at the end, but there is way too many here to swatch individually. But for liquid lipsticks, I have these, and they are all peach or bold. I would say that is kind of the vibe that I was going for, either kind of peachy nudes or bold, and there's really no in between. For peachy nudes, I pulled this Kaylin Extreme Matte Tint in the shade Narcissist. This is one of my oldest liquid lipsticks. This is the Revlon Color Stay Liquid Lip and Pink Lemonade. And an almost exact dupe, at least according to the packaging, is from ColourPop. This is the shade Dream. And they basically look identical, at least from the packaging, like I said. Another very similar shade is this L'Oreal Infallible Paints Mattes in Peach Pit. Look at that. When you see them all right there, they're like identical. Getting a little bit bolder is this Too Faced Melted Metal Lipstick in the shade Debutante. And my NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream. I think this shade was Amsterdam, but I'm not sure anymore. The label fell off. I could be wrong about that. I don't remember what it was called anymore. But this shade right here, if any of you know, let me know. Here is a MAC Oh Sweetie liquid lipstick in Creamy Peach Pie. This is probably very similar to this Too Faced one. I bet these are twins. I have a type, what can I say? Another oldie that I would love to get some use out of this summer is this very, very old Milani Glitzy Glamour Gloss in the shade All About Me. Narcissist, All About Me. I wonder if these lipsticks are trying to tell me something. And then for super, super bold, I have these three right here. This is that Kathleen Lights and ColourPop collab. Rev. The Kathleen Lights one, the orangey red. This is almost so bold, it makes me uncomfortable. When I wear it on camera or in photos, you guys always give me compliments, but it's definitely one of those lip colors that when I put it on and I walk into a bathroom and see myself in the mirror, I almost get startled. It is shockingly bold to the point where it makes me almost a little bit uncomfortable. So the summer is really the only time I would wear this because it's too bold to wear to work for me. So summertime it is. And then these are both Lime Crime Plushies lipsticks. I have Dragon Fruit and Mad for Magenta. The purplier one is Dragon Fruit and the pinkier one is Mad for Magenta. Again, I can't think of another time of year I would really want to reach for these other than summer, but I like them. Okay, the theme stays the same for the bullet lipsticks, a lot of peachy neutrals, and then a lot of very bold shades. For peachy neutrals, I have this Revlon lipstick in HD Sand. This is 100% an Emily Noel made me buy it lipstick. It looked amazing on her and I had to have it, so I bought it. I decided to also pull out the Dose of Colors lipstick in More Creamer Please. I am working on the quad from the same collection in my Project 10 uses, and I mentioned in that update that I really should pull out this lipstick and get some use out of it since I'm working on the quad. Since they came as part of a collection, it would be kind of nice to work on them. As I went back and watched old videos of that release and saw all the swatches, I'm a little surprised I purchased this shade. This is not a typical shade that I would buy. It's a little bit too like yellowy brown. But you know, it looked amazing on Desi. And I might have fooled myself that if it looked that amazing on her, maybe it would look amazing on me too. I don't think that's gonna be the case, but I do feel like summer would be a time where I could kind of pull this off if there was a time. So I've reached for this more for that than anything else. Next is a MAC lipstick. This is Coral Bliss. Just an awesome pinky corally shade. This is a Tarte Lip Surgeons in Elite. Again, pinky coral, man, that's my jam. All right, and 3 more pinks or corals. I have Revlon's Balm Stain in Rendezvous. Very orangey. And I have 2 NYX Butter Glosses. The orangier one is called Neon Lights. And the pinkier one is called Little Susie. All just super bold shades. But the most bold shades are these right here. These are all super, super bold, plummy pinks. I have Flirty and Fabulous from e.l.f. It has a little bit of wax bloom on it, but it still smells really good. And that's it right there. I have Lollipop from Too Faced. I love this shade. There it is right there. I have Hot Plum from Maybelline. Oh my gosh, I think this is a Jaclyn Hill Made Me Buy It product. And then I have this duo from Bite in Violet and Palomino. The purplier one is Violet and this hot pink is Palomino. And I love this duo. I love this duo so much. I don't think it's still available, but if it was and I used this up, I would 100% repurchase it. I love this duo. And finally, I cannot talk about lip products without throwing in a few lip glosses. I love lip glosses, and now that it looks like the mask restrictions are lifting, I'm gonna be wearing lip glosses almost every day in celebration of lip gloss and no masks. I have 1 pinky nude and the rest are pretty pigmented and bold. The pinky nude is from Bare Minerals. This is the Marvelous Moxie in Show Off. It kind of reminds me of images I've seen of a Pat McGrath lip gloss that's very popular. I don't know if they're dupes at all. I don't own a Pat McGrath lip gloss, but this would be my Shop My Stash version of the Pat McGrath lip gloss. I have a Buxom lip gloss in Rose Julep. Love that. I have a Makeup Forever lip gloss. This is a Plexi Gloss in the shade 207. And I have a Sephora lip gloss in the shade Orange Juice. How perfect is that? I love this. That is everything. I feel like I've been talking forever, but I am really interested to see how many of these products will make their way into different videos, different projects over the next 3 months, and I'm really looking forward to it. If I had nothing else other than this makeup right here for the next 3 months, I think I would be perfectly happy with that and just that. I love everything here and I feel very inspired by all of it. So hopefully you will see these products again over the next 3 months. I, once again, had so much fun doing the Shop My Stash and the top 5 palettes for summer. Thank you so much to Samantha for collaborating with me on this project. Please do not forget to check her out. She will be linked down below, so don't forget. And that is it. I am dying to know what your favorite summer makeup is for this coming 3 months. Leave it in the comments down below so I can read and see what you're getting really inspired to use as we get into the hot months of summer. I want to know. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.